See, nasenkonzweni, there's same pressure. I need to act like I'm well. Because funeke ndibonise uba uYesu utheni undincedile. Bona mfethu. But then
Stand strong, stay ten.
there's an abuse of power. Yeah, but now we don't longer look at the thing in itself. We are looking at the abuse of power. We are looking at the perversion of this thing. Yeah, but we don't go back and say, hey, viewer, when we started this thing, your polygamy, this is why we were doing this. But then we say this whole polygamy thing was just
It's a problem.
Yeah. And then we go back to, for example, Lulaluk, and when we say initiation is no longer relevant, this whole thing is just messing up with our boys. Yeah, but rarely do we go back and say, oh, what was this thing actually done for? Yeah, what was the purpose? What was the intention? Yeah, are we sticking to it? Yeah, are we still aligned with its intention? Yeah, and then if we are aligned with its intention and it's still not working for us, then culture has room for us to change or evolve. Or improve. Yeah, but to say that like polygamy is wrong, yeah, then without really critiquing, the thing in itself.
Yeah, but what does improving culture
that's
really look
what
like?
I'm thinking. Because look, there's identity also. Because we identify with these things. Yeah, like culture itself. Yeah, everything that we do. Yeah, that we call culture, that is culture, we identify with it. It makes us who we are. Yeah, then I'm thinking, how can we? Is there
Because improving it,
or changing it? Yeah, do we need to be strict and set out? Okay, this is what this thing was done for civils as well. Which I agree with you. Yeah, let's go back to that. Yeah. Let's not forget why.
What was the intention?
What was the intention? What was the purpose of this thing in the first place? Rather than saying, no, this is wrong, the entire thing is wrong. Let's change this. This shouldn't be done. Abantwana shouldn't go to the mountain. What can we do to make sure that we go back to how this thing was done, how this thing was practiced, like properly, because the fact that there are questions, people are questioning this thing, means there is something wrong in the guy.
It's not working.
It's not working. It's not serving the purpose that it was intended for in the first place. So,
but I think it will be interesting, Damsian, Uyoba. If we're saying we're improving it, what does it really say about identity, about the culture itself? And again, knowing the fact that there isn't still Lapa and still treating this as a culture, probably there was a change or improvement, but that improvement was maybe informed by how that initially was done. Maybe the reason we changed the culture, how we do things, is because maybe we saw that ingekho as effective and I want to improve it. But now with this improvement as well, it becomes questionable then, do we then change again because this is not working? Because if we're going back, then how far back do we go? Because there was a change, even back then. If you speak of Imbeleko, there was a certain way it was done because it had intention. And now after some time, we then improved. I'm using improved in this case. We improved. We thought, okay, it makes sense to introduce alcohol. It makes sense to, change the narrative a bit. It does make sense for us because we do have enough money to do that. But there's alcohol, that's available. Or maybe we influenced.
We are influenced.
Not even by people's use, but by time.
Yes.
There are things that are coming into our lives. Then we are influenced by that.
Can we improve the culture? I think that's interesting. Should we improve the culture?
I think we should.
No?
Yeah, all the time. Because I think as Tamsiana is saying, the times will require us to. The times will force us to. But for example, 100 years ago, when you go to initiation, you didn't have to go to a clinic. to test yourself if you are physically fit to go to be in the wild, basically. You just had to go, yabo. But due to the environmental conditions that change, my body in itself, yabo, is not strong enough to be in the wild because I don't live in the wild, yabo. But now I'm gonna go practice something for 6 weeks, okanye for 4 weeks in the wild. So there is a requisite now for me to be checked, but am I medically okay now to be in the wild? Because that is no longer an environment I lived in. You
But
understand?
again, Zivos, people that practiced that before us, maybe they didn't say anything wrong, and that was not 100 years ago even. Like that time when I also look, I don't think that was 100 years ago. But how we did things versus how I did things, where it becomes a problem. Because then now, am I saying what Tutatam did needed to be improved because of what I feel Ngoku is relevant? And if that's the case, are we practicing a culture because of irrelevance? Nah. And if that's the case, does it still authentically remain a culture? But I think the biggest question with the culture ban would be, that's why Bazali would have a problem in you asking questions about anything that's cultural related. Because now you're trying to say, whatever we've been doing, Tina, we've been doing it wrong. And therefore, you see a need for you to improve it. What has it done to us if it be wrong? If the whole 6 months and go through the whole process, what was wrong with that?
There was nothing wrong. Time also, was times of.
But time is also going to change again. Then what would it mean about the culture? Because the culture, should it be something that continually changes? And then if that's the case, do we have a stance to say this is our culture?
So I think what we need not to forget when viewing, I hear your point, is that culture does not exist without people. Yabo. So there is culture because of people. So we introduce culture. Culture is something that we repetitively do, yabo, that it becomes a norm and it sort of like serves us as a people, yabo. So it has to evolve.
So culture is not part of us. It's what we create, Tina, as the community.
That's why you have traditional culture. That's why you have global culture. Yabo. There's traditional culture as you being a Xhosa man and South African man. Then there is global culture, you belonging to the global community. But you are part of a global culture. You have a phone, you have Instagram, you vlog, you post. That's a global culture. You are not relevant if you're not practicing things of that culture. But then you become Gengogu. There's traditional culture where you are Xhosa, you are South African. But at a certain age, you need to go for initiation because you belong to that culture. But if things for you as a people that culture does not serve you guys, we change the culture. And we don't necessarily change the whole DNA of the culture, but we change the way we go about it. Like you are saying 6 months, now it's 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
And there are factors
that change,
that made that thing to the duration of it to stop being 6 months into 3 weeks. A lot of factors, education, not jobs, not living in the rural setting in terms of, uqelenga or upangela or whatever, but ubasekapa, you still need to travel, you still need to go to work, and jobs. Unika ixesha elingakanani away from umsebenzi, unika ixesha elingakanani away from school. There are a lot of factors that made that just one aspect of the culture to change and become no longer 6 months to be 3 weeks. So with everything, there are factors, because also now, Otata bethu lived like the Eastern Cape most of the time. Like they grew up there, everything.
Own land, own resources.
They were just there, most of the time. So now most of the time you are here, close to the Ilwand here, close to, like in many things, you are exposed to many things. So now we can't really trust that you would survive the bush, but without going to be checked that you are medically fit, tested and stuff like that. So there are aspects of it that needs to be improved, or things needs to take a different direction, in terms of you going there. So we can't really change the DNA, but other aspects of it, I think we really need to, because of time requires us to.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say, all of it, is it safe to say not everything within our traditional culture is cultural or is traditional?
Not everything?
Within the traditional culture is cultural. And the reason it goes along the way is when we're changing a part of the culture in relation with time, right? What parts do we really change? Within that setup. And because ngoku ndizama ucinga into yoba if for instance uthetha ngokwaluka straight ulwaluko, yabo, at some point we understood into yoba abantu can't stay for that duration. It makes sense generally, yabo. So the point there is it's not the time, yabo. So changing the time does not affect the actual practice, yabo. So that's where my question comes into place, Kengoku, Indoba. Can we agree that maybe not everything we perceive as part of a culture yetu is really a culture and therefore can be amended? Because should we change ezinye izinto, would that still remain a culture? Like for instance, if okay, now the point is you want to cut your foreskin, that's the basic rule. Yabo? Now we've got machinery. Why can't I use except butcher? Yabo? Would that change or
Butcher is
affect anything?
Butcher is really wild. Okay,
you understand?
Okay, let me speak to this one. Yeah? I'm going to give it to Tamsiana. Yeah? I think always the intent is the culture. Yeah, bo? So the intent for us to go there is for us to go through a rite of passage, right? For you to sort of like go through this transformation of like you are now no longer a boy, you are now going into manhood. Yeah, bo? The reason for the stay is for, whoever is the elder or the elders in the community to educate you about the role now of which you're going to take. Yeah, bo? And I believe that for as long as those things are there, yeah, bo, that was the intent, to make sure that you understand that you are going through a transformation now.
Okay.
And if the men, or the boys go through the initiation, are being transformed, then I think you haven't lost the culture or the intent of the culture. But if you're going to take my boy, put them in seclusion for 6 months, they come back a drunkard, then the culture is not serving me and my family. Yeah, bo? And even if it's 3 weeks, if they come back not transformed, the culture is not serving me and my family. Then we are to go back to the first point of critiquing the culture and say, are we aligned to its intent? What was the intention? Yabo, Tamsiana takes up a wife. Yabo, when we take up a wife or can you get married, what is the intent? Yabo, is he preserving culture? Yabo, is he taking care of his family? Is he protective of his wife? Yabo, and if he's not doing none of those things, he is misaligned with the culture. Yabo, that's
And therefore should not get married.
No. You should, but just understand the intent.
Okay.
Yeah, understand the intention of why you are getting married. You are not getting married to have your own bowl and your own teaspoon in the house. Yeah, bo. Because then you are misaligned with culture. Yeah, bo. And this is why now we have a lot of women complain, one, about initiation, but also two, about the setup of marriage, because the culture is now not serving them. Yeah, bo.
No, I agree with you, Mfethu. What you just said now goes back to the initiation aspect, being in the bush. But also I think, which is something that we are facing right now, in terms of how boys are getting into the society and what they are becoming when they get into the society.
When they come back from
back from the initiation, you get boys that are drinking. Now they disobeying their parents, teachings at home. They don't respect, they don't come back in time because the men they see themselves as men, and men shouldn't do certain things at home because they are men. They don't listen. They don't need to listen to
to other
mama.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I think that's the issue with facing, and we can question that with time. The duration they stay there, is it enough
Or
for
even the
them?
content.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even the duration.
The whole 6 months, but
That's what I'm saying.
you
Yeah,
with stupid people about that, they're gonna teach you anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Content.
Can be not the time, but what are they taught there? Yeah, well, because also when you look back, there were teachings there. You were not just there to nurse your wound, to heal, but also there were teachings of
Imparted
what
to you. Yeah.
of what kind of man you need to be when you are integrated back into the society. You know, how are you supposed to, as you said, Sivus, protect your family, provide for your families and do all these things. And also these things that we are given, I think there's the most missing part in this whole thing, in fact, is the teachings.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
It's education.
because other things are symbolic to what you need to do as a man, what you are given there, all these things. I won't mention as in but like I'm saying, but there are things, Tina, that are not properly explained. Yeah, but of why are we giving you this thing? What do you need to sort of understand?
Yeah.
Well, by you being given this thing.
Isn't that
Why
maybe a
is
case of time as well, I'm saying?
No, in fact,
Maybe John, I'm saying.
because Viewers, we have all the time for you to come back, and all these things, but the focus is not on the education,
transformation of the person.
yeah. The attention is not there. Yeah, well, the attention is to make sure that people are enjoying this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things that we miss, or our uncles, whoever, our families are missing in this whole, initiation aspects. From you going there and coming back and umgidi, they are missing those. The education aspect is the part that is missing the most. Yeah, well, so that the boy can actually understand, and comprehend what they need to do. Yeah, well, what does it mean for them to be a man? Because also they feel like they are. When you come back there, you're like, I'm a man, you know. Yeah,
But they don't know what
but
that
it's just,
responsibility
they do exactly. Yeah, so they don't understand what it means. They don't understand that it's like they are in the doorstep of becoming a man, or what will make them a man is how they will be in the society, how they will treat their families, how they will treat other people in the community. Yeah, well, and when they get married, how they will, treat their wives. And yeah, well, so they don't really understand, because yeah, well, you're not just indoor by cutting off your foreskin.
And because you're saying it.
Also, just lastly on this point, I think we just got into this conversation. So when these things, also, what I appreciate about our ancestors, right, is that they were very innovative. Yeah, but they were thinking people. So when these things were put in place, or when these institutions were put in place, they were put in place to respond to the challenges of the community. Yeah, but so there was not, we didn't wake up and we just had initiation. Yeah, but we didn't wake up and then there was marriage. We didn't wake up and then there was just uktwala, or polygamy. Yeah, but like maybe speaking to polygamy. The response was that there is too many women in the community and there's few men. Yeah, but the most important thing is that every child needs to grow up in a home, and that child needs to know who their father is. Yeah, so now we are responding to a problem that we were facing in a society. Yeah, not that we are using polygamy to become, but we are saying every child. Yeah, there are too many women here, and there's a few number of men. So if every man goes to a certain woman, there will still be a number of women who are without men. Yeah, then we'll have children who do not have a culture to associate themselves with. You get what I'm saying? They'll be lost spiritually, they'll be lost culturally. Yeah, and so now there's this creation of this polygamous system, to respond to the issues that we have. Yeah, bo. And now what we're doing, Tina, ne? We are in a culture, ne? Which is dope, yeah, bo. But that does not like fully or competently enough respond to the challenges that we have.
We don't
Yeah, bo.
understand.
Like we are sitting with a challenge now. Tamsen was saying now, we are in Men's Mental Health Month. Yeah, but men are 5 times higher. Like we are committing suicide far higher than women. Yeah, but and in that demographic, there's black men. I can tell you now, the
highest
high
vote.
percentage is black men. Yeah, but now we are so complacent right now, Tina, as people. We are not saying to ourselves, what is it that we can do within our culture and our institutions to empower ourselves and to respond to this issue that we are facing as men. Yeah, which now is sort of like forcing us to say, hey, actually, Tata, this thing of us being disconnected and me not being able to have a relationship with you or a conversation with you about things that bother me, even though I'm 14 years old, maybe we need to change that. Yeah, let me not talk to you when I'm a man. Yeah, let me not talk to you when I'm 21 or when I'm about to take a wife. Actually, the challenges now that we are facing in our society are sort of like forcing us to have a conversation between you and me at a very early age. So, Ngati, you need to talk to me about sex while I'm 13. You need to talk to me about what it is to become a man while I'm 13. We can't now delay these conversations because culturally, we do not have this conversation at this age.
Damn. Before we continue, terribly sorry for that. Welcome again here to another episode. We're going to take a pause
always
there.
welcome
We're
us
definitely coming back to that conversation. It's culture. It's a lot on culture, whether or not should we improve it, how should we do it, if we're doing that. There's a lot to conversate about that and a few things. And I think one of the key things you mentioned as well is mental health, which I think is something we're also going to delve in as we continue. But for now, who the hell are you? Figure out our theater. You've been going on for the past 10 minutes. We don't even know you. I know people already know Tamsian. They've been speaking about Tamsian.
Exactly.
I mean, it's someone that knows Tamsian. But who are you? Who are you, bro?
This language is crazy. I know. My name is Siv. Yeah, I form part of this team of the Inner Gen podcast. I'm the ghost.
How do we say ghost?
I'm the what do you call it? I'm the caterer. I'm the person that makes sure that there's people have water around here. Yeah, but we haven't had any female guests here. Yeah, we haven't had any female guests. Yeah, but I think I take pride in the space, man. Yeah, that we've created here. I think it also helped us that professionally we are also in a space where we're mentoring boys to become good men. And I think by virtue of us being in the space, practicing and doing the mentorship, I think it was such a beautiful thing for us to realize that, actually, we are also those boys and we do not have a mentor. Yeah, and other men out there do not even have these conversations, for example. At least we are privileged enough to sit sometimes and have these real conversations. Because if you're listening to other conversations that men have, we don't actually talk about the real issues up until we are drunk, of course. Which shows us actually that we do have the capacity to be vulnerable, but we just don't have the courage. Don't have the courage. That's when you find the courage now to cry and to really say what you want to say. But now I think it was beautiful for us to create a space where we can do that in a healthy manner. To show that these conversations can exist without alcohol. But also without us being violent. Because we deal with our issues, but we deal with our issues very violently.
Exactly.
So
that's what we know.
That's what we know. So I think it was really beautiful for us to just set this up. But not just for us though, but for other men out there. So I would say I am part of the change makers, of the men in this country, who are trying to create a narrative a different narrative about us and for us and for our children, basically. Yeah.
Thank you,
that
sir.
note,
Thank you, sir.
to like when you speak about violent, you know, I think that's the only thing we know.
Yeah.
That's the only way we know how to be strong, if I can put it like that. Because us as men, more especially black men, we respond to issues that are affecting us most of the time with violence. When you feel disrespected, you want to be violent, you know, and I think this sort of brings us to another thing that you mentioned when I was, like yesterday I was so frustrated, bro, but like beginning of this month, because June is like men's mental health month. Awareness. Yeah, bro. And when you speak about awareness, it's like, you know, making people aware that this is what's going on. This is how you can, you know, deal with your mental health. You know, there are programs, there are events, there are all of these things to create this awareness. Or to talk about this thing. Yeah, bro. But to my surprise, I was like, damn, it's like quiet, bro. Social media, like, there's not much being said about this month and what it means, and, you know, the initiatives that are being done or things that are being done to make sure that men are being, you know, given the tools to deal with their mental health. And I was like, and I think I was just scrolling on my phone. I saw this one lady that is in my contact list who posted about men's mental health. She posted this video, Garikerik, where he was playing music on his car and crying, you know, and she was like just giving love to men out there, you know, that she understands that men are going through a lot, and when I looked even amongst my peers, like male peers, in my contacts, just in my phone, no one posted about this thing. Yeah, well, no one posted about this thing, and we posted that thing on the
Men
group.
Who Talk.
And I was like, damn, I posted that thing, and only one guy reacted to that. Yeah, well, so I went on Facebook yesterday. I was like doing a bit of research just to see
what are people saying about
this thing. And I was like, nah, damn, nothing basically. Yeah, well, nothing is being said about this, bro. And I feel like I haven't seen any event since the start of June up until now about
almost
this
the
thing.
end.
Yeah, well, so now I'm trying to understand because it's even us, it's not just other people that are not talking about this thing, but even us, men, we don't talk about it. We are not talking about it.
Yeah,
well, so which like sort of frustrating because I understand, you know, what men are going through and the suicide rates, that mostly men are committing suicide, and we commit suicide in a very violent manner. We either hang ourselves, we shoot ourselves, we throw ourselves in front of a moving train or a bus. We do a lot of violent. We commit suicide in a most violent way, in fact. And when you look at the statistics compared to women, the only way women are committing suicide
through pills.
is just drinking pills and they sleep to death. But us, we feel, even when you think about killing yourself, you think about killing yourself in the most violent way. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I just want us to
maybe speak on that,
acknowledge that, and just to hear what's your take, Warne, because I was saying this before. before we sat here, I was like, damn, Sivus, it's men's mental health. Yeah, but, and Sivus was like, really?
I didn't know.
So for me, like, it's crazy, bro. And I feel like we always, I think also it's how the society is, or the cultural phenomenon, if I can put it like that men needs to be strong, men don't need to be vulnerable and
Or maybe ndicela ubuza mhlawumbi, because now I was actually thinking I'm saying about, because I think I mentioned as well either kuwa or someone about mental health this month, and saying that for the first time, it's the first time hearing about this month as the awareness of that. I normally know this month as something special on youth. Yeah, but this is a youth month and we focus on that. But now, maybe there's a reason why we felt, but there's a need for us to be aware that there's this issue, men do suffer. But now, my question on that was, do we really know what mental health is? Maybe we're taking it on a surface level. What do we mean by city mental health?
Yeah.
What is it? Maybe if we can speak on that a bit, just for my understanding, so that maybe nominye umuntu understands what it actually means when we're saying that we're suffering mentally, or healthier to mentally is not at the right point, or what is mental health? Just your by definition.
Yeah. I think this is a tough one. It's actually not as easy as Googling the definition and finding it. Yeah, bro. Because I think maybe the most simplistic way is to say it's anything that has to do with your mental. Yeah, bro. But I think there's a deeper question you're asking, bro, like of awareness. Yeah, bro. Am I aware? Like, since you am I aware? Yeah, bro. And I think I was going to speak on this when Tomsiana raised this. Like, let's leave the world alone, yeah? Like the people who did not make this thing trend.
Okay,
Let's talk about us men, yeah, bro. The people who are. This month is dedicated to our mental health, not women, to our mental health. But we were the ones who were silent, yeah, bro. And what does that say about us? Yeah, bro. And I just think that whenever it just goes to show, like, personally, what I think is we suffer from deep issues of, like, self-abandonment. Yeah, bro. Like, that this thing is ours, né? Like, it's talking to us, but we could not grab it, yeah, bro, because we are busy doing other things. Yeah, bro. We are still busy trying to survive. Yeah, bro. We are still busy trying to take care of our families. We are still trying to provide, and we are still trying to be men. Yeah, bro. So I don't know what you are talking about, really, when you talk. I don't have the time, nor the luxury, right, for me to entertain your conversation or your campaign about my mental health. Yeah, bro. Because it's nice to talk about it, but when you switch off that post, yeah, bro, when I react to that status and this campaign goes away, by the way, my issues don't go away.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro. And my issues of mental health did not start in June. Yeah, bro. My issues of mental health started in January, my brother, or even last year, or since I was born.
Yeah.
You see? So for me, like, for you to make an issue about this in the month of June, I'm confused, bro. You get what I'm saying? I'm hella confused because you are talking about something that I'm entangled with each and every day. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm entangled with this. Whether it's Women's Month, I'm suffering from mental health as a man. Whether it's Father's Day, whether it's Mother's Day, whether it's Christmas. By the way, when it's Christmas, I don't have Christmas. Yeah, but I am still suffering from mental. So I'm confused. Maybe personally as a serve, right? As to why am I dealing with this issue as if it's a public holiday in June? You're confusing me, bro. Yeah, bro. Because I suffer from this thing
every day. And maybe I've even accepted that it's part of me.
Exactly. You've numbed me. Yeah, bro. So I don't know, like, I'm confused, Nyantamsian, as to why I would make an issue of this thing for a period of a month when my suffering of it is in. It's like almost saying to me, hey, today it's HIV and AIDS Awareness Day, but you don't give me ARVs.
So who's supposed to, who's supposed to,
Because if we're making people aware of it, which is what the point of awareness is.
Sure.
Yeah, but this is to say, actually there's a problem. Here's a problem. But now
whose responsibility is
to
it,
solve the
Fred,
problem.
to solve this issue? Well, whose responsibility is it to make sure that men throughout the year they know about this thing? You know, they know where they need to go whenever they feel like they feel anxiety, they feel like they are depressed. Like I'm just trying, you know, exactly.
That's what I'm going
Yeah,
about. Do I
I'm
even
asking,
know
do
that
you
I'm
know?
struggling
Yeah.
mentally and my mental health is not where it's supposed to be?
Exactly.
Because if all of these things happening and they've been happening, probably from inception, just me being born a male, having to take all that weight. Did I know about this is actually a weight for me?
Yeah.
Did I know about I'm not supposed to feel this way? Did I know I'm not supposed to think ngolu hlobo ndicinga ngalo ngoku? Uyabo? And as a result, how is you making me aware ngoku change anything from that and from what I'm gonna be moving forward from here?
But I think another deep issue, as I was looking into this thing, looking at the different organizations and platforms that sort of offer help and support for men to understand. The one thing I understood is that even men, like, we don't understand. We are not aware that we are going through. We are depressed now. We don't understand. Like what you are saying now. How do I know that I'm depressed right now? We that's something we don't understand. And I think as in black culture, I'm not sure if. Okay, it's just my opinion, but in black culture, I don't think there is a word for depression. Mhlawumbe luqinezelelo lengqondo, I think much.
Stress.
Yeah.
It's stress. Like we don't have a definition of what this thing is. And also, I think in our definition, we always go back to back in the day or to our grandparents and be like, no,
They survived.
Utamkhulu, they
without this.
survived. They never had this thing. We don't know. We don't know.
Because they didn't die of anything that's stress related or even being said out loud to actually utamkhulu wako died of depression or anxiety. We've never had those, and as a result we'd assume but they never happened. Or maybe if they happened, they survived and they were well.
I think that's another issue. That's what makes us to be sort of defensive or not want to agree about, okay, I'm actually going through something. And then you question things about depressed. I'll be depressed, but strong. Like, I think that's what makes us reluctant even to go for therapy, to go for counseling, because we have this idea, more especially as black men, that we will never get help. Indoda ayithatha ingxaki zayo yothetha ngazo komnye umuntu ku-strange engasaziyo, yabo. So I think that's what made also otata bethu do all these mistakes of leaving their families and feel like they can, go find comfort komnye umfazi okanye baxexeze because of the pressure ifumanayo endlini, because akafuni uthetha ngengxaki zakhe, yabo, to another person, yabo. So I think the issue in our viewers is that we don't even understand when we are going through the most, when you are depressed, when you are feeling anxiety, you don't even have that understanding. I think that's the issue, the awareness part within ourselves, to realize, well, okay, I am going through the most right now. What do I need to do when I'm feeling like this? Where do I need to go when I'm feeling like this? We don't know the ESO channels, So I think to speak on that, in fact, to the awareness part, within ourselves.
But how do we do that? And Khalil sithethe on Jazakuba Makeba ngokuna. And Funa sithethe on a surface level because I'm saying it's true and it's a sad truth because how do we counter something that we don't even know that it's a problem? Like how do you solve a problem if you don't know it's a problem?
But you know,
Yeah, but-
because with the
Because
level,
but how do you know, Uba, now I'm in this as a problem? Like, for instance, me feeling sad, can you mean, would that mean that I'm depressed? Yeah, but would that
Probably.
mean that, yeah, but, or maybe just because it might also mean that I'm just reacting towards a certain emotion. Yeah, but I'm feeling this way because it's part of like emotional change. People change in emotions. Yeah, but how do I know that this change is the normal change for me? Or at this point, do I regard this as normal? Then there's nothing about it. Or when do I now need to consider this is actually a problem and I'm depressed? I don't think it's that easy to know. I'm actually depressed. Yeah, I'm not strong. I'm not feeling emotional, but I'm depressed. I'm going through anxiety. How do we know before we can action towards helping ourselves? Yeah, but being aware, just knowing. Yeah, just knowing. Michael, I think there's a question
before
there.
the global awareness and the community awareness, how does the self become aware?
Yeah, gents, I think more than a question, it's a response on maybe awareness as well. I think that we need to be aware of is that as long as we have lived, especially like I will speak about Black people, we have came onto earth surviving. We survive. We survive life. We survive relationships we create. We survive every time. So when there is a survival mode in a person's mind, then the nitty-gritties of understanding where you are mentally, they're not gonna matter because you're always like chasing for your survival all the time. So if ever now I'm gonna sit down and think about the fact that I may be depressed, then it's like it's gonna be a long day because I still need to survive that as well. So as far as survival is concerned, and survival also comes from the fact that how you were brought up. Yeah, well, if you were brought up in a shack and you hate winter because in winter it becomes like this, it's raining, and you know your situation is not gonna be good. You filter things that are like, you don't have time for things that will entertain, or rather not entertain, but you don't have time for things that don't matter,
Okay.
quote unquote.
Or that not speaks to what
To
we're
your
experiencing as the
situation
issue.
now. You feel me? You're supposed to be a kid. You are 15. You're supposed to be a kid, focusing on playing, focusing on reading comic books. But because you are a surviving kid, those things don't really come to life with you. Don't interact with you being a kid because you need to survive. You need to think for the next thing to do. Yeah. Well, so hence you would find that majority of kids in the hood, they become subjects of crime. They become subjects of prostitution. It's that survival mode. And that survival mode leads you into becoming depressed in our day-to-day words or context. Yeah, well, so as long as we haven't identified the part of us having to live or understand the survival part of things, then us focusing on these days and having to be aware of our situation, it kind of defeats the purpose.
But can't you be aware, right, and survive at the same time? Because now I'm thinking, yes, not being aware or just not caring about the awareness maybe comes from the fact that you need to survive, right? And I mean that's every person's job at some point, because there's a lot of expectations, and maybe you growing up have a certain ideology of what a man should be or what a man looks like. But now I'm saying, can't you survive, right? Or try by all means to survive, but still at the same time leave room for your awareness and your mental state, to know that I can still cater for my mind and my mental health, and at the same time survive in this cruel world. Can you do that at the same time?
I think we need to change this survival notion. Yeah, well, I understand our challenges. Maybe you need to go to work and get a job and get money, put food on the table, you know. But I think we need to live, man. Yeah, well, and I think that's one thing that we don't get to experience, living, you know, to live, to enjoy life. And also, yeah, but as much as we have problems, but you need to enjoy life.
But how?
I think us focusing on the survival aspect, because you get to think, you think kakulu about where are you going to get the next meal. Yeah, well, so we always on that survival mode, which sort of it's
focuses
easy
it to one thing.
Yeah, it's easy to get depressed, yeah, bro. But you need to live, man. You need to do stuff, yeah, bro. You need to do things, yeah, bro, run or whatever. Like enjoy life, enjoy other things that are not financially rewarding. Yeah, bro, because I think we focus more as men in getting money, yeah, bro. Getting financial gain, like we focus kakulu on that, yeah, well, that we forget to live, yeah, well, and that at the same time makes us depressed, yeah, well, because you have this survival born instinct in your mind. You can't even recognize when you are overwhelmed now by your thoughts and your thinking. So I think we just need to find a way, a balance in our life where we are able to live, and also maybe survive at the same time.
Because reality for me, Damsana, that is profound, and I think it's not as easy as it might sound, right? Because now I'm thinking of another guy that I know. That guy decided that he's gonna leave his job, yeah? And he's not gonna look for another job. He's just tired of working.
Take a
right?
break.
He's taking a break. But now if I think about that, and I think of me taking a break, that would cause depression. You know what I mean? So the reason for him to take a break was because he felt like there's a lot of pressure at work. He's not having fun at all, right? He even said, I don't even know why I'm working. You know what I mean? I don't see the gain. I don't know why. I'm stressing more by working. So I'd rather sit down and not work. And I'm thinking, dude, if tables were turned, I decide to sit down, that would cause a huge anxiety for me and a dysfunction. You know what I mean? So really for me, it is, yo man, bigger than what the society portrays it to be, right? You just being aware of it is not really addressing the problem. Yeah.
But being aware that there is this thing, because you get to look at yourself, but actually, I was depressed. Actually, when I think like this, I'm depressed. Or I'm overwhelmed. By that guy realizing, when I'm here, I don't know why I'm here. I have anxiety. I think too much. Like I don't see it doesn't really serve me being here. As much as I need the money, but I'm always stressed when I'm in this environment. Let me rather take a break. Which is okay, but at the same time, our situations, like as you are saying, don't really allow us to make those decisions. To say like, I'm leaving work, I'm gonna take a break, man. Because when I'm at work, I feel stressed. So it's not as easy as,
Maybe it's the approach, man. I'm saying, if I think about it when I say, maybe it's the approach. And I think the approach we're taking, Tina, is trying to solve an old problem. Like, sisebenzise like surface level kind of solutions. Like for instance, if I try to deal with your mental issue in the city where you need to prioritize yourself first. You're already old, you already have your kids, right? Now, what does prioritizing yourself mean? Like if I take the instance of this guy, now if maybe I don't know if someone suggested that to him, maybe if someone suggested to him and said, you know what, you need to value yourself first, prioritize yourself first. And the guy thought, okay, me prioritizing myself is just sitting down and having time to myself, right? Maybe that was the issue. But now, that person is already old. If now you're telling that person to do that, and then the same breath, tell that person to survive, tell that person to provide, tell that person to be the good father that they want to be, tell that person to be the good family member that they want to be. You wanna know? And now in that case, there's an imbalance because how do I prioritize myself whilst having these kind of responsibilities already? But now if maybe we took another approach where we say, okay, at this point you don't really have much problems, and I'm speaking to a boy now, goes back to inner child. Now I'm speaking to that young boy and I start to educate them about prioritizing themselves, because then that becomes relevant, because now they don't have a pressure of trying to become whatever the society thinks they need to become, because they at the early stage, there's no troubles. But now telling an old man like me to, you need time to yourself. And I'm thinking,
I don't
what?
have the time.
I don't have the time.
I wake
Because
up at 5,
exactly.
have to be at work by 9, come back from work by 5 o'clock, travel for an hour.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
7 o'clock.
What's 7? What's 7?
Like 7 late, you're making it easy when I was at 5 o'clock. Coming back
No,
at 5.
I'm saying that's the time you get out of work, at 5.
Yeah.
bro. But you have to travel for an hour or 2 to get to, if you have a car, it's an hour. If you use public transport, it's 2 hours. By the time you get home, you're already fatigued. But by the traveling in itself and the work itself.
And then I tell you to
bro.
make time for yourself.
And then you tell me to make time for myself.
Is that relevant? Is it helping anything? You know what I mean? So we're addressing the right issue, right? However, I think what makes men, specifically black men, not put so much attention to that as you explained first, that we don't really see the need, because it's as if to us it's not realistic. There's this expectation, and then there's me. Where do I fit in within this equation? Where am I? Where am I supposed to be?
Also, I think our perception of mental health is it's like uyapambana, right? Yeah, like you've gone crazy. That's the perception of the instability of your mental health, because mental health can be you are healthy mentally, right? But I am not depressed, I'm not traumatized, I'm not stressed, I don't have any anxiety, right? If I can still get into my car, go to work, perform, and come back home.
It's like,
It's like, yes. Yeah, even for myself.
but it's possible for you to
No,
have
no.
and be able to get in your
I
car
can
and try
function
to-
well with
yeah.
depression, my brother. I can function well with anxiety. I can function well with stress. I can function well, like I can deliver with all of these things. Yeah, bro. It's almost like what Uzulu was saying, because you are so used to survival mode. Yeah, bro. So our perception of this thing also is that it's not an issue, right? Up until I'm at my lowest, where I've lost a job.
I
because
can't
I'm drinking,
provide, I'm not
where
productive.
where I've gone into drugs because I'm stressed. But even so, right? The society does not say to me, "Damn, Usilva's such a good guy." It could be that he's depressed. Yeah, bro. If I go into drugs, there's a name for me waiting for me.
Yes.
Dilipara.
Yeah.
That's
like
it ends. yeah, bro. Like it says, like you've chose that
ungenile
path.
ngokwakho.
Ungenile ngapha. Yeah, understand that. And then when I drink, nobody says it goes back to culture. Yeah, but nobody says, actually, Usia was a good guy. Yeah, but now he's drinking Monday to Friday. No, there's a name that's waiting for me. Dilinxila. Yeah, bro? Like, so our perception of this thing is not problematic. It's not problematized. Yabo. Even the worst effects of it, yabo, is not the problem. You are still the problem. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I'll talk uwe, uvi uyanxila ngoku. Hey guys, what happened to this guy? Kuthiwa no, ulinxila. They attach an identity to you. Yabo, not the problem in itself. Do you get what I'm
How
saying?
do we get him out of
How
that?
did yeah,
Okanye how-
how did he end up there, bro? Yeah, bro. Like there's too many people right now who are suffering from dire, extreme depression. Even if we go to the community, we will see amachita ingawa phamba nayo. Yeah, bro. But what we're gonna say? Lipara, umchiti yapala man. Umchiti there's drugs.
Yeah.
Sicho. There's drugs.
There's child.
Yeah, bro. We also know of a friend of ours that drinks and wants to hurt other people. He drinks and cries. Yeah, but he drinks and wants to commit suicide. In the fact that umchiti avela shiya apa hambe and he doesn't know how he gets home. That's suicidal, bro. Yeah, bro. Like that is asking for death subconsciously. But Tina, we will say you are really nonsense, Uban. You see, we are not gonna say this is a problem
Yeah.
and this is a problem. So we are really not
Yeah.
aware. And also we're not aware of the problem worse because now we are functioning in depression.
Until you kill yourself.
Yeah, ndizambona njani umsiyani une-depression, ndi-depressed naqala. Because ungenzeka si-depressed ngoku sobathathu apha.
And they can still function. Like, ubone, and we can still talk about it. Kunjalo. Yes, yes.
We are suffering from chronic depression. As go aware. Yeah,
I think the culture now plays a big role, Lewe. Yeah, but if you really think about it, Tamsiana, I think culture. We started with that conversation about what does it do for us? Yeah, but is it helping us in any way, or is it driving us towards the same issue we're trying to resolve up? Because if you ask me, Uviwa Ponga, I would say the culture has a hand, Chloe. And this is what I mean by it. Because, look, who tells you what a man is? Who tells you what a father is? Who tells you what a brother is? The society tells you that. Yeah, but
one which
the
you come from.
culture, exactly, the culture defines your whole life now moving forward. Now that Olugile, this is what we expect from you. Yeah, but we tell you that even straight on your face. I remember the next thing you need to do Ngogu, is you need to take a wife. No one even stood to think for a minute, Noba, what do you want to do Ngogu? Now that udlulile kwesi stage, what exactly do you want? What's your plans for your future yakho? They've already curated the plan for me. Yeah, but you do this next, and then you have kids, and then you have your own house, and then you do this.
How are you going?
Yeah, so as long as how am I doing these things? Now I start to stress if I'm not meeting up to your expectations, because now I'm not gonna feel like I'm man enough. Then I've wasted my parents' money going to the bush, to the mountain, and coming back and not being what you guys wanted me to be after that.
And another thing, I think a contributor to that, or to this mental health, our mental issues as men, is looking at one another and seeing what you have achieved and looking at myself.
Yeah. We are taught the same thing. If you're able to do it, I'm not. That's a problem.
I'm not feeling where you are. Yeah, but now I'm feeling the pressure. Yeah, but also at the same time, to what you were saying, Silvus, that you can survive with all these things, depression, anxiety, and everything, but you still survive and you still smile. Yabo, no, I can't believe what say.
Why did he take his life?
Which is crazy, bro. Yabo, because we put this facade, like say we are happy. Yabo, because we don't want to be seen as weak. I don't want to cry in front of my friend, but say I'm going through the most in fact. And when I cry when I'm drunk, so this is why up until this bulali, and then you go to a damn.
But do you think the Klaus Bulele will say that?
No, we'll say, why didn't he speak?
Yeah.
That was what was circulating with Ricky Rick. Everyone was like, he had an opportunity to see people, to see us because he's got money. Why was he not speaking?
But I are the people that I'm around
Giving that space.
giving me that space to speak. Or even fair to a simple thing as congratulating someone for doing something. I think that can do something. Like say, I see you, bro. Congratulations.
It does,
You are
yeah.
doing well. Even in relationships, you are doing well.
It does,
Yabo, ubone, thanks for doing this. Yabo, for our kids, yabo, or for me, or like because as you know, we are required to do as men. Nobody says. Bonnie says congratulations, okanye thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a good
because
job.
No, nobody does that. Because you as a man, you are required to provide. Yabo, give this person this money, do this thing for your family. Yabo, and kuthiwa hayi indoda ke ngoku. Kutshiwo mos, hayi indoda mtshana.
Indoda.
Yabo,
Okanye
whatever.
sokubalelwa ezinye
Yabo,
kufanele uzenzile.
ofuneka uzenzile, yabo. You are not akho mntu uthe enkosi. Nobody is thanking you for that. Nobody is saying they are proud of you. Nobody is saying you are doing well. It's like you are just constantly need to do these things.
And now you don't do those things for yourself because you were never taught to embrace yourself like that. Yeah, but it's like that issue of self-abandonment. People have abandoned you so much, right? Not physically abandoned you. They've abandoned you so much that you would then learn
Abandon
to
yourself.
abandon your own self.
Damn.
Like it's like, because I don't need a congratulations from another person. I can congratulate myself, right? I can take myself out in a rescue and congratulate myself. But then even if when a thought crosses my mind, I'm thinking, yo, what are my parents going to think? What are my friends? What is my daughter or girlfriend going to think if I'm dining there alone? You feel guilty now about celebrating yourself because who the hell are you?
To be doing this for yourself.
But you know how easy it is for females to do that, bro? I see my sister doing that all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, but they were never taught, how to abandon themselves. We were. So even in the things that we do culturally, it's like you need to become a man so that you can do what?
Provide and serve the family,
others.
other people.
But nobody tells you that you need to take up this position or this responsibility to better yourself.
Damn, bro.
You have never even been looked at. So how are you going to look at yourself? There's no way you're going to look at yourself. So this idea now becomes so entrenched. And now, as we were saying earlier on, now life and time actually forces you to look at yourself. Because life and its forces and its challenges are going to tell you, hey, bro, this thing that you've learned over the years is actually not working. And I'll show you why it's not working. Because your relationships don't last. Because you don't have a good relationship with who? With yourself. So how are you now? You don't have lasting relationships because you don't have one with yourself. You are drinking every weekend. Because you don't have outlets. To deal with your own issues. Even the things we have, right, institutionally in our society that are there to help us are a facade. You go to a rands, we say groove. Really? Bro, groove in another country, in another culture, it's actually
different
grooving
thing,
because
yeah.
we're feeling good.
Yeah.
Most of us are drinking because we have issues, bruh. But so there's no grooving there, there's numbing. We should actually say that because I would say
I'm going to numb myself.
I'm going to numb myself. We need to go. We need to call it what it is. They're numbing. They're numbing. You're number, show me. That's what we need to do. Because because it shows us after that groove that we're actually not grooving. Because we are the ones that come back with money spent that we didn't have. We are the one who come back with having beaten up a guy, pan. We are the ones who come back with our cars with a tail light that is not longer there. So we are not grooving. Who are these people that groove with knives in their pockets? Who are these people, bro, who groove with knives in their pockets? What kind of groove is this?
Bro.
So even the institutions that we are in, the things that we've set up are not really working for us. Then you go to church, my mother is there singing the whole day. If I am looking at her, hey, mama, she's very happy. And then she comes back, bro, and then she blows and throws a tantrum. Then you're asking yourself, but where did that character go to? Yabo mama wangolesine upi, yabo mama wase webhaji. Where is she? Yabo, but it shows that everything is a facade. We are not dealing with things like the way we should be doing. Yabo. Tatam is there at church, ya preacher, Shumaela. Yabo, but in the house, he's actually something else.
An animal.
Yabo, an animal. Yabo, ndingumzalwane mina enkonzweni. I put up this act, yabo, ndinxiba kakuhle, but I still suffer from, I still suffer from industry like crazy. Yabo, that do not mirror the person I am in the society. Because I'm healthy enkonzweni. But late at night,
And for that moment,
I'm confronted by depression and anxiety. Late at night, I'm confronted by, and the way you're going to deal with this is either you go to alcohol, you do excessive porn, you masturbate excessively, because when you're trying to get a release, so in your own private space, you're a damaged animal.
Damn, bro.
But then you go out in the world, funeka suit up, funeka unxibe kakuhle, funeka uchebe ube mhle. And I think the most thing that kills us is the pretense.
This is sad, bro.
The pretense. Funeka ndihambe ndiye emsebenzini and I have to go laugh at jokes that are not funny. Brad, you know how painful that is? Uhleki into engekho engahlekisi. Except, bro, nomlungu yangena because you're so traumatized and anxious. Thetha into phambene eyo, bra. Awuyivanga sometimes that ayithethileyo. You didn't even hear it. Then you realize later, what was he saying? You're like, what was he saying? You didn't even get the joke. Yeah, but you're always living in this act. Funeka solo act, funeka uyo actor nasendlini.
Yeah, mfethu.
Actually, from yakho ba extend grand ungekho grand, because this wife does not have the capacity to deal with ungabikho grand wakho.
This is sad, mfethu. This is sad, like listening.
Funeka uyolala ungekho grand.
Mentioning izinto mfethu zawanga Sivus. Mentioning all these things, mfethu, all these environments we get to and we get
Numb
to
ourselves in.
We pretend because of Zawanga. Because the fact that you mentioned groove, and you mentioned church, and still these two environments don't serve the purpose. Like they don't serve you good. So now I'm thinking, Fetu, Zobangu Wepi, where are you supposed to be yourself? Where are you going to be yourself? Really, Fetu. Where are you going to be vulnerable and cry and show, like say, I'm not okay? Because all these environments now require you to be happy.
As kwamkeli wena as
you are, mfethu.
None of them accept you as you are. Awubheke rents funeka ube ngumjita onemali. I have to pretend like I have money. Yabo funeka ndiyothi ncama imholo wami, my salary ndiyothenga iskipa sika Balenciaga.
Ungabi nemali yophangela.
Yabo okanye sika Amiri. Yabo because I need to put up an impression. You see? Nasenkonzweni there's same pressure. I need to act like I'm well because funeka ndibonise ba uYesu utheni undincedile. Bona mfethu. But then
compromising
but then both of these institutions are not set up for that. That's my point. I-groove is for that to ask for us to have fun. Good. Inkonzo is for us to admit that asikabikho right, we are in the process. But because abantu abekwezi ndawo asikho right sonke. Yabo, so funeka ndi-pretending
Which is
right.
crazy, bro.
I think Brother L said something, bro.
Damn. I would need a moment of silence.
Like this is a very interesting question, conversation. You know, at work, there, like in many other workspaces, there's always a conversation around developing a work culture that is inclusive of everyone in the space, where you can challenge power. For example, because sometimes what we're saying, you laugh at your boss's jokes because it's your boss. You don't want to challenge the power and all of that. I just want to know now. So, because we're social people, we're always going to go to the groove. We're always going to go to the church. How do we build these spaces, like even from inception, so that they are able to allow us to come as we are, so that I don't need to have a Balenciaga t-shirt when I'm coming to these spaces.
Sure.
What are the elements that must be there in the spaces that are social we go to, so that I don't have to come up with a mask and sanitize myself, for example, when I'm speaking? Yeah.
Oh, brother, sorry for it. Yeah, but the groove is not, was not established to serve that purpose. Yeah, but, and now I'm realizing that also church does not really serve that purpose. Not all the churches, but I think there are aspects of it that sort of fuel that survival mode or make us believe that things are going to be okay. But that's how I look at it, the church, because you need something to sort of believe in, to hold, so that you can hope and believe. But I think I'm fair to even with this space, because when I was looking at this mental health issue, I was like, damn, there are no spaces available to speak about this, to address these issues that men are facing. So I think we need more spaces, organizations, events, curated to sort of will allow people to come as they are, and sort of become vulnerable and be honest with themselves that actually I'm going through the most right now. But I think we can take this as a foundation of creating spaces like that, spaces that we will hold these conversations, and allow people to actually speak about their issues and be themselves, because also now when you think about this, when you mention the fact that we might also be depressed sitting here, maybe we are, because it doesn't mean that because we are speaking about this thing, we don't have issues, we are healthy mentally, but I think conversations like these, brothers, they need to be more of.
That's true, Tamsian. I think especially with both as institutions, especially like a beer hall or something, where we groove. Payana, already you're going to a place filled with people. So the land house is a space where there's already people that has issues or maybe don't have issues. And their main job here is not to make you happy. We have power because you want to make yourself happy. So I think the bigger problem is how do you turn up within those institutions? Where's your mind at? What's really your expectation? So I think what makes you put in the facade is your mental state, because you go there expecting, this is how I should be because this is how people expect me to be. I think the bigger question is not the institutions. The bigger question is how do we, self. And I think the biggest issue, you mentioned it earlier, is self-abandonment. But the moment we don't realize who we are because of who we think we're supposed to be, I'm gonna say that again. There's who we are, like who we really are, and who we think we're supposed to be. And those two things, in most cases, they don't go the same direction. And as a result, if now I'm in a certain institution, or maybe I'm just among people, I only put up a face of who I think I'm supposed to be, not who I am. I think it starts from understanding who we are and being practical about it, as to who am I exactly? Do I want? That's why I think it even starts with relationships sometimes. Abanye bantu would say to me, maybe you're not confident enough. Because there's people that I tell myself that I can never date this lady or this person at this point in my life. Because I know what that comes with. I know that I'm going to be required to be someone that I'm not. But if I'm dating someone that has a car, I don't have a car, For me, anyway, they don't expect me maybe, but I know that I'm not gonna be fully myself if I'm dating this person. And I think it speaks to level 1 of understanding myself. I don't understand myself. I'm still trying to learn who I am. But at least there's a few things I know about myself. As some things I cannot do because they put me in a situation where I become someone else that I'm not. I think if we can start there, start learning ourselves, start understanding ourselves in a practical sense, not in a theoretical sense where I feel that I'm supposed to be someone that has a car already. Maybe that's true, but do you have the means for that work? And will you have the means in the next 3 years? Because if I'm thinking that actually I should have a car, but realistically in the next 3 years I'm not going to have a car, then I'm going to be stressing for the next 3 years, thinking that I'm supposed to be someone else. But if I start asking questions, who am I? Who am I? And in bettering myself, the kind of person that I am, what's the next realistic step that I can take in making sure that I fully develop from what I am now, not what I think I need to be in future.
Sure. Damn, you know, yeah, man, yeah, that is crazy. Like, just to echo what you're speaking about, né? Denzel was on an interview with Spike Lee, yeah, bro. And then Spike Lee says to Denzel that, there's an award that Denzel got. I think it was an Oscar or something. He says, you got this thing. You are great. Yeah, bro. And then Denzel is like, no. I was great before I got the Oscar.
The recognition of my greatness.
Yeah, the Oscar is just there to affirm what I was already. Yeah, but the Oscar does not make me great. My greatness is what I got. Yeah, but the Oscar is what I got because of my greatness. I'm not great because of the Oscar. Yeah, but I was great already. I was great 10 years back before the Oscar. I was great 20 years back before the Oscar could see me. Yeah, but so the Oscar thing is just it conferring that I am great, but the thing does not make me great. Yeah, but now coming to the car thing, I think it would be very important for us to understand that the materials do not make us, they don't make us great. They don't make you cool. They don't make you relevant. You were cool before the Amiri t-shirts. You understand? You were cool and great before the car. And I think this also speaks now, because Utamsiana touched on that another contributing factor for mental health, the instability of it, especially among men, is the competition of acquisition, right? That we want to acquire things, because acquiring material things is significant to success. But then we need to also look at what does success mean. You need to look at it from what does success mean for you. But what does success mean for you? What does success mean for me? Because I don't believe that success can be uniform. Cannot be the fact that like he has a house, he has a car, and we all have cars and we all have houses. Therefore we are successful. And that work takes now us looking at ourselves. And also appreciating the things that we already have, because we're already successful in other things. I mean, like here we are right now on a Sunday. We have the luxury to shoot a podcast. You can take that very, very, very much for granted. But that is success. Someone else out there is still trying to be where you are. They are still conceptualizing an idea. Trying to be or trying to have a podcast. They don't have a podcast.
Yeah, that's true, Sivas. Like fair too. I think you spoke, like when you mentioned the Denzel interview, like now I'm thinking about, because now you speak on affirming yourself.
Of course.
Before the other person, affirms you.
Of course.
Or say what you are doing is good. But how easy is that? Right? Because looking at everything that is happening within the society, the influence, the social media, the world, what the world is saying success is, the definition of the world in terms of success, and you most of the time we will look at the world, what the world is saying,
What the standard is.
The standard is
Yeah,
within
yeah,
the
yeah.
world of success,
Yeah.
and sort of not look at the little things that you are able to do and see them as success. Yeah. So now I'm thinking how Bone,
How do we do it?
how do we do it? Because it's not easy, bro.
Yeah.
It's not easy to say not having that Amiri shirt, Bone, doesn't make me who I am, or is not an achievement. Yeah, it's not cool. Yeah,
Please wrap
like-
this up for me.
Yeah.
Folks. You're going to wrap this up for us. So there's means to an end, right? The money is the means. Ne? It's a resource to an end. Yabo? What is the end? To be happy, right? The end is to be content. The happy is to be fulfilled. Yabo?
Elaborate on that.
Okay.
Content and-
What?
Some people might miss that.
Okay.
I'm here and Yagova.
Yeah, the means to an end.
Yeah, and Yagova, like simplify it, bro.
Okay.
Yabo.
The means, ne? The means, we are all working to get the means, which is an income, right? We are working to get money. We are working to get, especially money. We are working to get an income, right? We are working so that we can have a big house. We can drive a luxurious car. We can eat good food, right? So that we can wear good clothes. Yabo. These are means. Yabo. All of these things are materialistic. It's things that are tangible that you can hold with your hand. Yabo. Now the question is, what is the end? Yabo. Why am I getting these means? Why do I want the big house? Why do I want the big car? Why do I want the
Ultimately, I want to be happy.
ultimately, I want to be happy. Do you get what I'm saying, Damsian? Ultimately, I want to be happy. Yabo. And my thing is, if you are already in some parts of your life already at the ends, not in the means, you should acknowledge that.
Okay.
You understand
Okay.
that? You
Am I
might not.
happy without
You
these
might,
things?
I'm fair too, because me buying a house in Camps Bay is not just for me to have a house in Camps Bay. There's something I want to fulfill. You understand? I want to be fulfilled. But it can also happen that I might have the house, a big house in Camps Bay, and still feel empty. You get what I'm saying? So now I have to understand, like, I'm trying to acquire these means to get to an end. And what is that end? Because we have people who hang themselves in their mansions, who are alcoholics in their mansions, because they were too focused on the means, forgetting what was the end.
Hey, bro.
Fair too?
And they would say, exactly.
Exactly. That's what you're gonna say.
Because also I think that's another puzzling thing for us. We feel like you
it's
can
like,
only kill yourself.
How do you kill yourself with so many cars?
Yeah.
How do you kill? Human beings are not fulfilled by material. Human beings are fulfilled by the things that make us sick themselves. But the reason why you are sick is because you are not happy. The reason why you are depressed is because you are not fulfilled. And the money and the things are not gonna buy you that health. Those things are not gonna buy you that. You are a human being, you have a soul. You have something that needs to be fed beyond bread and milk. That thing needs to be fulfilled, bruh. And the clothes are not gonna wear your soul. The car is not gonna drive your soul, bruh. So it's great to get the means, but we always need to focus on the end. What was the end of this thing?
Damn, gents, thank you so much, man. I think this episode really not only speaks to interesting conversations we want to have, but it really speaks to the core of the problem. And for issues like this, I would love to assume that there's no overnight solution for it. It's something we can always practice now and again. And I think one of the biggest issues, a realization for me, is that we self-abandoning. And because of that, we allow the society to abandon us and not even taking note that the society, because we started by abandoning ourselves. And it also speaks to culture as well, what's really expected of us. And I've realized today that we don't even understand what awareness is and why should it even matter at this point. But those are conversations we can always continue in the comments as well. Do like, subscribe, comment. We need those comments. You know, we're building this as a community. We're
And we
building
want them
this.
to have the conversations there.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
biggest thing that I've had, maybe as my closing, one thing that I've heard from another powerful man was he was praying actually in church, and then this guy said, Lord, thank you. Thank you that I'm not in jail. Thank you that I'm not addicted. Thank you that I'm not anything else but what I am now. And I think acknowledging that before acknowledging what you want to become, yes, sense of gratitude. Appreciate what you're not. I mean, some of them are drug addicts. You're not. Yes, you don't have a car that you want to have, but at least you have a house. It's not the house you want.
Shelter.
At least it's shelter. You know what I mean? You don't have the Nike, but at least you're not barefooted. You know what I mean? Just those small things and appreciating ourselves, that I think would play a huge role in how our mental state works. Thank you so
I
much.
think another thing on obvious that I think people need to sort of be grateful for is being able to do something, not even financially, but the fact that you are able to wake up and sort of do something with your body, maybe run, or maybe create. I think people need to do more of, activity, have an activity to do, bro. Because sometimes you might talk, and for someone who's already at that state of depression or anxiety, this might not be even helpful, if I can put it like that. But I think people just need to find an activity, something to do, physically with their body, running, create, just to get your mind back to, I have a balance, I think people just need to do that, bro. But I think this conversation, and I think at the end of this episode, we need to have like maybe web contact helplines where people can sort of reach out. There are counseling sessions, counseling hub and other,
Yeah. Also, if they want to
institutions.
talk to us as well, it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because you might not relate to a stranger. But you might relate to someone that shares the similar ills as you. So.
Yeah, thank you very much, Richard. Yeah. Peace.
Inner gen speak truth. Real pain, real truth. Stand strong, stay ten. Healing boys into men. From the dark we rise. No fear in our eyes. Lost boys find hope. Now we learn how to cope.